Hey guys, Ashley here. Today we are making this fun mixed media Dino Rawr two-page scrapbook layout. So to start off, I am doing what I call an ink smooshing technique. So this is actually a popcorn wrapper, so any kind of plastic works really well for this, or thin plastic. So I take my ink pad and just kind of smoosh it onto the plastic. I'm going to spritz it with about, I have a little spritzer, so about 3-4 spritz of water. And then smush it around. So I'm mixing up that water and that ink on the plastic. And then I'm going to place it on top, run my hand over the paper, and this transfers that ink. Now I can add more water, less water to get some different effects on my paper. So you can see I keep adding my actual photos to the mat. I'm looking for certain placement. So on this layout, I knew what photos I was using, where I wanted to use them. So that kind of did a big impact on how I was laying things down. So now I am coloring up some texture paste, right? I want to get this matching green to go with it. And so I'm going to use my stencil. So I have the green that I want, and I'm just going to apply and scrape all the excess off the stencil. It's not going to look like there's very much when you have the stencil down, but as you can see, once you peel it up, it's perfect, okay? Now, I'm kind of being careful since this stencil is in the middle of my actual entire 12 by 12 stencil. You can cut these apart. For storage sake, I like to keep them as one big sheet. Makes it easier to kind of go through and see what I have, to be honest. But you simply kind of hold it up, only scrape the section that you need, and peel it right back up. So you can see me going back in. I'm doing my right-hand layout now, and this again, I'm using that Sundance and that charcoal. I was inspired by a layout from the Close to My Heart January-February catalog for the actual Dino Rawr stamp set. But I wanted to do slightly different colors. Now, I wanted to add some splatter to this, so I busted out one of my shimmer brushes. Now, to get some larger splatters, I pull out an ink block and kind of get some excess on there. This gives me a little bit more on those bristles and gives me a chance to get some larger splatters. So, depending on if you're looking for large or small, different techniques to try. So I did some paper tearing and layering at the bottom and top of my paper. Go ahead and matted my photos onto just basic black cardstock, and I'm gluing it all down. So I am going to kind of check my placement, see how I like, if I want to put my photos a little bit closer, a little bit further apart. I decided I liked to have that, I think it was about a 1/4 inch gap between the pictures so I could see some of that mixed media coming through. Now I'm going to bring in a bunch of die cuts. So these are the Sprigs and Sentiments, and I've stamped them on, I think it's rosemary, sage, evergreen, and I think mink, I want to say. No, charcoal. And so I'm kind of creating these clusters. I'm really happy with the right-hand cluster. The left-hand cluster was kind of stumping me. It really kind of looked disjointed. So I looked on my stamp set, noticed it had a cute sentiment of rawr. This was perfect to add on a little white dovetail, and that gave me something that I could then center my cluster around so it's not just kind of randomly poking out of the side of my photo. So 2 more dinosaurs on the left-hand layout. Followed the inspiration photo, and I liked those little footprints kind of going up, helped fill that space. I then printed off my title Dino Rawr using my, I think it's the Slimline sentiment, playing with where do I want my dinosaur, my Dino Rawr. I really liked the lettering kind of not being straight across. And then I looked at my stamp set and was like, oh, I have to fit this volcano on here somewhere. So did a little bit moving, smushing around, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out. Building my cluster in that top right corner. And so I really liked that pterodactyl up at the top with the Dino Rawr. It kind of helps bring your eyes starting at the top left, down, and across your page to the dinos in the bottom right. So again, that flow is very important. I love that mixed media, and now I'm just adding in a couple dots, and it really kind of helps set off and complement, right? You can see that pop of color. And overall, I'm super pleased. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me so you can hit all my videos.